I actually don't know what I just witnessed, and y'all are getting my live reaction to me being absolutely shocked. If you don't know, the Club World Cup's going on this summer in America, and Man City just faced Al Hilal from Saudi Arabia, and Al Hilal and Man City just gave us a football classic. If you missed this game, I feel bad for you, son, because this game was absolutely 1,000,000% a football amazing match to watch. This was football. This was what football is made of. This is a beautiful, beautiful game, and it is just shocking that Man City, one of the best teams in Europe over the last few years, just went crumbling to Al Hilal. And I know y'all are going to be like, well, Skills, it's preseason. Listen right now, okay? Before you say it's preseason, Man City did everything to win this game. Man City gave it they all. Man City threw everything at Al Hilal. They literally played with everyone they could, from the Hollands to everyone, bro. Foden, everyone was out there, bro. And there was a time where we thought Man City was going to run away with this thing. There was a time where it looked like Man City had this in the bag. But Inzaghi, the new manager of Al Hilal, I think we need to put some respect on Inzaghi, because I thought Inzaghi was kind of a whatever coach, but he gets Inter Milan to a Champions League final. He leaves Inter Milan. He goes to Al Hilal, and now he just knocked out Man City in a crazy performance, by the way. This was a very, very crazy game. So it's one of the biggest upsets. There's been a few upsets. Inter was one of them. And after the Inter game ends, Martinez starts talking smack about other teammates, talking about, if you don't want to wear the shirt, get out of here. Crazy. We'll talk about it. A lot of drama there. And now we go to this game, the 9 o'clock game, the late game, and you get Al Hilal against Man City, which you think, okay, Man City's on to the next round, but they're out, right? And now we've seen 3 powerhouses go out: Inter Milan, Man City, and Benfica. What? Say something. Exactly. Leave me alone, bro. We see 3 powerhouses of Europe go out in this in the knockout round, man. Man City, Inter Milan, and Benfica all out. Chelsea advanced, Al Hilal advanced, and the Brazilian beasts advanced over Inter. So it's very, very interesting what just took place. I remember a few years ago, Ronaldo said that the Saudi Arabia League was going to be a top league, and that the teams from the Saudi Arabian League would be able to compete with the best teams in Europe. And I know we joke a lot, and we're going to talk about the game. We joke a lot, and we say that, Ronaldo's in a farmers league, and Ronaldo's farming it up, and Ronaldo's just scoring goals, and he's over there because he's going to get 1,000 goals because of farmer league. Well, what we're calling a farmer league just knocked out one of the heavy hitters in Europe. Now, this heavy hitter has taken a massive step back. Their season last year was awful, and if it was any other manager, not Pep Guardiola, Man City would have fired their coach. But because it's Pep Guardiola, you ride the ship. You know that it's just a little hiccup in the road, a little, you just got to fix it and move on. Well, that kind of doesn't happen. And Man City fans, I know this might not be a big deal to y'all, but let me say this real quickly, and to everybody watching this video: the money that you receive for going through this round was like 14 or 15 million. There's no team in European football, there's no team in world football that's not going to take that, all right? If you tell Man City, hey, look, all you got to do is go beat Al Hilal and you get paid 15 million. I think Man City's going to be like, you know what? Sign us up. We're going. Well, that didn't happen. Al Hilal gets the 15 million or whatever the heck it is, and City's going home, right? City's on the first plane out of there, going back to England. I think that this shows a couple things. It shows that Man City's not ready for this upcoming season yet. And I'm in the same place I was with Benfica. Man City had a terrible year. There's no denying it. It's a year that, again, if it wasn't Pep Guardiola, he'd be sacked. Winning this competition would have made it feel like all the problems are solved, right? And that's why I said about Benfica. If Benfica would have got by Chelsea and maybe won one more game and then got eliminated, or even if they got by Chelsea and then got eliminated, it would have made it look like everything's fine. It would have made it look like there's no problems that need to be solved. So I think Man City has problems, and Man City has holes, and Man City has a team to figure out going into the next season, because Arsenal's very strong. Liverpool is extremely strong. Liverpool is only getting better. Liverpool is literally building a mega team in England. Man City had a mega team for many years. Liverpool is building a squad under Slot. They are building a team under that boy. So they better be careful, because they're the team to beat right now. And seeing this City play against Al Hilal, and knowing what I've seen from Liverpool last season, I still think Liverpool are favorites to win the Premier League again, to go back to back, because they got better. And they had a crazy, awesome season, and they got better. They literally got better. And I know why they made themselves better, because they won the Champions League, which makes sense. That's what you do. You win the Premier League, you get that money, you build on that so you can win the Premier League again, but also go compete in the Champions League. So it makes 100% sense. But at the end of the day, I think, You know, you got to take it for what it is. And what we're seeing right here, what we're looking at right here is a Pep Guardiola squad that is not ready. It's a beautiful team. The team he's building, the team that Man City has, is a great team. But I don't know if it's ready for the upcoming season. Obviously, we still have the transfer window to go through, so things are going to change. A lot of these teams that are in this competition haven't changed their team yet. Man City's lineup was Doku on the left, Savio on the right, Haaland at the striker position. They had Rendier, I always mess his name up, Bernardo Silva and Gundogan through the middle line. That's a crazy midfield, by the way. And then in the back, Ruben Diaz played. He played Mateus Nunes at the right back position. I don't really know if I like that, but that's where he played him. Ederson's in the goal, and then and it's their team. There's no other way of looking at this. Like we can say whatever, and pieces are missing here or there, but realistically, this is a ridiculous starting 11. Haaland, Savio, Doku, Rendier, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva. You are taking that lineup to go up against many teams in Europe. You are taking that lineup into the Champions League and feeling pretty comfortable with that lineup. Anyone who says that's not a really good midfield is crazy, and the front three is amazing. The truth is Gundogan a little bit past it? Is Bernardo Silva a little bit getting old? I think Bernardo Silva still has it in him. I think Bernardo Silva's still good. He scored this game as well. Gundogan definitely getting up there in age, but this is still a really high-class, high-quality midfield. You take this midfield at many teams in Europe. So there's no looking at that differently. What's crazy to me is Leonardo. Okay, Leonardo. Marcus Leonardo played for Benfica, lads. And this guy was on the bench at Benfica. Didn't play at Benfica, didn't touch the field pretty much at Benfica. I wanted to see him play more. He's this young Brazilian talent that chose Benfica. He's still only 22 years young. He scored 2 goals against Man City today. In the Champions, in the AFC Champions League for Al Hilal, he's played 11 games and scored 5 goals and got 2 assists. Leonardo, bro, is absolutely cooking. And you look at him, you go, oh, he's cooking because he's in the Saudi Arabian League, right? That's kind of what I was thinking, right? A lot of people are going to think like that. Okay, Saudi Arabia's league's pretty okay. You could score goals there. Ronaldo's doing it. You could score a bunch of goals there. But now that you see him go and score 2 goals against Man City, you go, man, maybe the Saudi Arabian league is, maybe it is what Ronaldo's saying it is. Maybe it is hard to score there. You know what I'm saying? But Leonardo bags 2 goals against freaking Man City. The counterattack that Al Hilal came with, by the way, is absolutely insane. There's a player that plays for Al Hilal, that I forget his name, but I love him as a player. I think he's insane, bro. I think he also played for the Saudi Arabian national team. And I always forget his name, but I'm trying to find him, trying to find his name for you. Dude, he's so sick. Anyways, I can't figure it out right now. But their counterattack game, that Inzaghi had Inzaghi had this team so well organized, and they just played off the counter, and City wasn't able to deal with it. And here's the biggest deal. Whether you want to call this a preseason tournament or not, this is what Messi's going to face in the Champions League a lot. Teams parking the bus, low blocks, counterattack. And they still, once again, look exposed. Last year, they looked exposed to the counter. This year, still, they look exposed to the counter. Teams in the Premier League and teams in Europe are going to dominate City on this. Not dominate the game. City's always going to dominate the game. They dominated the game in this one as well. But on the counter, you saw that they were a team that, in my opinion, again, just lacked defense, right? City had 30 shots, 14 of them on target, 69% possession. They lose the game. But Al Hilal, 17 shots. That's a lot. And 17 shots on Man City. That's a lot, bro. And 6 on target, 31% possession, but 6 of them on target and 4 of them went to the back of the net. Leonardo scored 2. Malcolm, remember him from Barca? He scored 1. And Koulibaly bagged 1 in the 94th minute. Foden, Haaland, and Bernardo Silva scored for City. It was City's team. It might have not been the lineup that's going to start the Premier League, but it was one of their stronger lineups. And on the counter, they got smoked on the counter. Bad, lads. Bad. So this is still a problem that Man City needs to sort out as quickly as possible. And I guess it's time for us to put some respect on Cristiano Ronaldo's name. With that being said, let's talk about this Inter stuff really quick, because this is one of the craziest things ever. Inter Milan wins the Champions League. Inter Milan goes to the Champions League final. That's an achievement itself. They lose the Serie A by 1 point. Napoli beats them by 1 point. 1 point. 1 point. Okay? 1 point they lose the Serie A. They lose in the Champions League final. Pretty bad, but PSG is really good. We know how good they are. They lose it. They then go to the Club World Cup, and they lose to a Brazilian side, 2-0, okay? Put some respect on the Brazilian league. They've been great. The Brazilian teams have been great in this competition. What I'm trying to say to you real quick, though, is after losing the league by 1 point and going to a Champions League final, Martinez comes to this tournament and says, players here that don't want to be here should leave. Wearing this shirt, respect, blah, blah, blah. Starts talking about how heavy this shirt is. First of all, I respect what Martinez is saying. I do like when players call out other players. I think at my Benfica, we need more players that want to wear that shirt. It's a heavy shirt, wear it better in the Portuguese league. I agree with what Martinez is saying to certain people. I don't know the drama at Inter Milan, but to lose the league by 1 point, lose the Champions League final, get kicked out of the Club World Cup, and then to have that statement, that's not a bad season. You're in every big competition. You were there. But to say that is absolutely kind of crazy. Started seeing a lot of people on social media because I put it out and people are like, yo, Martinez should go. And I'm like, whoa, Martinez should go because he's not doing enough for Inter to be talking smack. So he should go. And then the president came out and started pointing fingers at Kolonoglu, I don't know how to say his name, you know what I'm saying? I apologize for that, but he started saying that he was the player that didn't want to be there. So Martinez called out a player, and the president pointed a finger at a player, and it's like, damn. So you lose Inzaghi to Inzaghi leaves this absolute mess of a situation, goes to Al Hilal, and he's on top of the world, just beat Man City, while Inter goes crashing out to a Brazilian team, and after they go crashing out, they lose their manager Inzaghi. That got them to a Champions League final. Players are calling out players. Presidents are pointing fingers. It's not a good situation for Inter. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to take place, but Inter fans, let me know what you guys think about this situation. But I think this should have been dealt with behind closed doors. Now it's to the open. Now it's to the public. Players are going to have to be sold. The team's going to have to be built correctly. And do you trust this manager, Kovu? I think his name was. He was a crazy player. I think that's who their manager is, right? Kovu. He was a crazy, awesome player. I don't know if you guys remember, he wore the helmet for Inter Milan when he had a head injury. Crazy, awesome player. But is he a crazy, awesome manager? Does he have the experience to take a team like Inter Milan, who just went to a Champions League final? I don't know. That's crazy. But I'm going to follow the Inter Milan story closely because there is drama happening at Inter Milan. There's drama happening at Man City now. And the Club World Cup showed up today, big time. Brazilian team goes through and the Saudi Arabian team goes through over two of Europeans' giants. Remember, Inter Milan has been to a Champions League final a couple times in the last 10 years, right? I'm pretty sure they made it twice at least. And they always go far in the Champions League. City is a Champions League winner a few seasons ago and goes very far in the Champions League every season. And they both just went out to Al Hilal and to a Brazilian team. Now, are European fans going to say, well, which preseason? We're not taking it serious. Or are we going to say, maybe there's some work that needs to be done? Because for my Benfica, I know there's work that needs to be done. If Benfica would have been on Bayern's side and they played Flamengo and Benfica got by Flamengo, let's say Benfica got by Flamengo, Benfica was going to lose 8-0 to PSG. I'm a Benfiquista. I'm going to tell you right now, PSG would destroy us. Not only that, if Benfica would have got by Chelsea, Rui Costa, who has been a terrible president over the last couple years, he's just not making good decisions, he would have thought everything was okay. And he was like, oh, the Benfiquistas are happy. The fans are happy. We don't have to do nothing. So if they would have went far, they would have made a bunch of money and act like the team was okay. This team is not okay. This team needs a replacement for Florentino. This team needs a backup left back if Carreira is going to leave and someone who competes with Dao. Benfica needs a creative midfield in the middle of the park because I like Coach, but when he plays against big teams, I like Chelsea, he was kind of completely out of it. And the way he fights with the coach and stuff, it's not good for the locker room, point blank period. Benfica brought in Bruma and are afraid to use him, right? Benfica fans hype up this Prastini kid who's a very young kid and we need to play him and play him more. And I agree, but I say to all Benfiquistas this. Benfica is not a team. Yes, we're a team that develop players, but Benfica is not a team that can wait for a player to come life. We can't do that. We're not a team that does that because while we do that, Sporting and Jócaras win the Campeonato. And while we do that, Porto builds their team and wins the Campeonato because Benfica wants to wait for a player to develop. When João Felix came in as a baby, he played 1 or 2 games. He took it. And he ran with it. There's no way you could bench him because of how great he was. He was great. You had to. When Renato Sanchez came in, when he was a baby, back then, he came in, he played a couple games. You couldn't bench him. He was too good. When Antonio Silva first broke into the lineup, he was too good. You couldn't bench him. When Araújo came in, too good. You can't bench him. When guys come in that are babies and show class and skill and ability from the academy, and they play well, you can't bench him. Prastini hasn't showed us nothing. He showed us good preseason preseason. Isso não vale nada, meu. You got to show me during the league. You got to show me during the Club World Cup. You got to show me something, you know? We can't be a Benfica. I love Di Maria, and I'm glad he came back to Benfica to end his time, but we can't be up against Chelsea, one of the best teams in football over the last 20 years. It's facts. They had a couple bad years over. They're rebuilding and buying a crazy amount of players. But you can't go 120 minutes with Di Maria the whole time. How is Di Maria still on the field going into extra? I know he scored the penalty, but you got to pull him then. Di Maria had like 3-4 counterattacks on Chelsea at the end of that game where if he had legs, we could have hit them on the counter. You know, and you have Prastini getting red cards. Eastern will have Benfica. That's not Benfica to me, bro. You can't come to me and be like, oh, this is Benfica. Prastini hasn't shown us nothing. Florentino loses the ball too much. Barreiro loses the ball too much in the midfield. The midfield is completely a disaster. Antonio Silva had a beautiful Club World Cup. He stepped up. There's a market for him now. If you want to sell him, you can sell him. He had a crazy good World Cup. He looked like a Club World Cup. He looked like he was back to normal. He looked like he was back to himself. Otamendi was phenomenal, right? Dal had a good Club World Cup. I don't know why Paredes wasn't playing. I'm assuming he's already sold to Real Madrid. I don't know why he wasn't playing, but Dal did what Dal had to do. It's not his fault we went out, okay? Arsenis at right back, I'm sick of it, yo. Arsenis is a good player. He could fill a lot of roles, but I'm so sick of putting him everywhere and just thinking that he's supposed to do great in every position, bro. Put that man in his main position. Stop playing him so close to the striker. Get an actual player that can play behind the striker, a creative midfield that could put the ball. I would rather see Kochu behind the striker closer to goal than Arsenis. Kochu has more goals in him than Arsenis. Put Arsenis as an 8 in the midfield and move Kochu to the 10 position as a cam. I'm sick of people using Kochu as a box-to-box and putting Arsenis behind the striker. It's so stupid. Roger did it. Bruno Lage is doing it. I'm so sick of it, bro. Put Kochu behind the striker and put Arsenis where he belongs. And if Arsenis can't play the 8, then put him on the bench, dude. Stop playing him as a right winger. Stop playing him as a right back. Stop playing him as a center back. Put him where he needs to be. And if he's not good enough to play that position, there's somebody better than him in that position, then don't play him. Period. Sorry, y'all. I had to vent right there. I've been feeling out on my nerves, bro. There's just so much, man. There's no actual backup to Pavlidis, right? Our young left winger, Sherlup, he sometimes shows a really good game. The next time he's very quiet, very inconsistent in that position. And we've been doing this for many years, lads. Many years. First, we had Sabola. You remember that guy? I forget his name. We had him at left wing. Then we had David Neres, and then Di Maria, and then Sherlup, and then Rollizer, and then Prastini, and then Bruma. And we just keep signing wingers and wingers and wingers, and none of them are good. Di Maria class, don't get it twisted, but he's old now. None of them are good. All right? So I'm sick of this, bro. We keep buying wingers and none of them are good. None of them are good. None of them are creative, and none of them can take somebody on the 1v1. None of them. None of them. They all play backwards. It's annoying. It's so bad to watch. So again, Chelsea deserved to win that game. It would have been really nice to see Prastini not get the red card to see who would have went through there because it would have been a really good extra time. It would have been really, really fun. To be honest with you, Chelsea shouldn't have been in that situation. That's 100% a penalty. Chelsea should have been winning by many goals, and they just didn't put the game away, and that's what happens when you don't put a game away and you go into a 2-hour thunderstorm break. Yeah, a penalty happened. They went to extra time. They shouldn't have been in extra time, but they were there. Would have been nice to not get a red card to see what happened. But Prastini, a young kid that has no playing time on his time, and you put him in, and you're just supposed to, hey, go crazy. What are you doing, bro? Like, what's he in there for? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. You didn't trust him all season in the league when we needed wingers. You didn't trust him, but you trust him for the Club World Cup, bro. Benfica used this to see who could stay and what they needed. They needed to see if Dal could start. That's why Dal was playing left back, because I know Paredes is probably leaving. They wanted to see if Prastini's actually a backup, if he can actually play for them. They wanted to see if Bolatti was going to stay around or if they were going to get rid of him. They wanted to see these things. And what we saw was the same thing from Benfica all season long. Their midfield's not good enough. They lose the ball too much. Kochu plays good. Out of 10 games, 4 years really bad games. But it's not his fault. I think he's out of position. Barreiro, I don't think is up for it. He could be a backup, but I don't think he's up to be a starter. And this is Benfica. Israel Benfica, man. And this is the process of Benfica. We're going to make 1 or 2 signings, probably big signings. People are going to get really excited about this. And it's going to be the same thing next year where a player starts playing well, then we take him out, and then this, it's a terrible process, bro. It's a terrible process. It's not fun to watch, man. As a Benfiquista, bro, I needed this break. I needed a month break, bro, to just kind of recover because this season was not fun. Anyways, lads, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, man. I love you guys. I'll catch you in the next one.